Yo, what's Coach? On today's video, I got the how to make a stat system, the updated version. I made a stat system, I want to say like, it was like a little over a year ago, I want to say, and stuff like that. So this is the updated version and stuff. I took, I still had the file saved. So I just took it, rewrote the code, made it more simplified, and yeah, if you guys want a part two showing like how showing how to integrate like stats into like like real world, like not real world but like actual game like buffs, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, if you increase your health, you're gonna have like more health. Like it'll increase your health. If you have more strength, you'll be able to do more damage. If you have more speed, you'll be able to walk faster, stuff like that. Like I can show you guys how to do that in part two. Except for if you guys just get this video out of love and let me know in the comments I want part two, I got y'all. Thank you guys for 4.5 thousand likes. I mean, subscribers, for 5,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. When is this video coming out? I think this video is coming out like, when this video will be Friday. Oh, well, hope everyone had a good Christmas, because Christmas was a couple, I think it's like a couple, the video should be out on Friday. But anyway, what's up to everybody who's watching the premiere right now? It's not live, but what's up to everyone who's watching right now? And yeah, let's go ahead and get straight to this video. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and knock something out. Let's go ahead and make sure we have the setting enabled, because the setting does use data stores. If you're interested to learn more about data stores, I do have a video on that. You guys can go check out. But let's go ahead and click game settings. Let's go ahead and click security. You want to enable studio access to API services. Make sure that's enabled. Click save and boom, good to go. Then let's go ahead and insert a remote event into replicated storage. Let's name said remote event. Yeah, I forgot what I call it. Oh yeah, stats event, right? Then let's go ahead and knock out the UI. So let's insert a screen GUI into starter GUI. We're going to name that screen GUI stats GUI. By default, we're actually going to leave reset on spawn. I know most of the time I disable it, but we're going to leave it enabled, right? And then we're going to leave it enabled by default. We're just going to make the frame not visible, right? Then I'm going to insert a local script. We're going to come back to it, but we're just going to insert that and leave it there. Then I'm going to insert a frame. So you guys can name this frame stats frame. It's up to you guys for how you want to customize this, but this is just how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to just expand it, you know what I'm saying? Like put it in, like just put it in the middle. I guess I could just make it a little smaller. Put it, you know what I'm saying? Put it nice in the middle, right? Then I'm going to need buttons and text labels. So first, let's just get like a main text label at the top, so it's kind of like a header. So I'm gonna make my background transparent, like a nice dark gray. Make it transparent so we can see through it, right? Maybe like look a little darker looking, yeah, something like that, right? Then I'm gonna insert a text label, right? And put this at like the top, and then I'm gonna call this like stats text, or no, I'm gonna call this, let's see, stats text. Right. Okay, I didn't use label because I used the old code from before. So I didn't feel like changing the names. But anyway, so stats text, and then I'm gonna just change the text. I'm gonna just say stats, so players just know like, okay, here's where you go to change your stats, right? So I want to make sure it's bolded, right? And then we could give it like, I don't know, white textual transparency. Make the background transparent. Boom. We got a nice stats at the top. And then we're going to need to insert a text label so we can see how many, like the available points we have. So we know how many points players can, have to spend on their, you can say attribute stats, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to name this available points text label, right? Available points text label. We're going to do the same thing. Boom. Scale it, rich text. Then this one I'm going to set the text to available points, colon. We're going to set it via the script, but we could just go ahead and just type it out now. And then I'm going to make the background color like a nice gray. Yeah, like a nice gray. But still want to make sure we can see it. Like kind of like a dark gray. And then I'll just do the same thing for what I did with the header. Boom, like that. So available points. Boom. Then let's go ahead and let's copy and paste this to save time. So I'm going to copy that or duplicate it by pressing Control D. And then I'm going to get started on other things. So I'm going to do 3 stats. It's up to you guys for how many stats you want to have. I'm going to do 3 stats: strength, stamina, and defense. That's just what I'm going to name it, right? So I'm going to duplicate it, 3 times. Then I'm going to separate them. So boom. Okay, so I have my 3 stats, right? So you want to rename each one the name of the stat, then text. So let's do defense text. And then of course we're going to set the text to defense with a colon. Boom. Then move on to the next one, and then let's change this to stamina. So I spelled that wrong. Stamina, right? Boom. And then I'm gonna set it to stamina text. Boom, right? Then I'm gonna set the other one, last one, I'm gonna do this is strength. So strength text. And then change, make sure you update the text. So it's strength, boom, right? Now we have all of our stats, right? Then wait, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm good on buttons because this is 5. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so now I can get into what's it called, the buttons. So let's go ahead and make an open button. So you want to close the frame. You want to insert the button. Make sure you're inserting the button into. What is going on? Why is it? Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so you want to insert the text button into the stats GUI. You don't want to put it inside of the frame. You don't want it because this is the open button. Here's how we're gonna open stats, right? If this is how you want to do it, because maybe you want to have it where like you press a key and you open it. So I'm gonna have it like this, right? Or actually, you know what? Maybe I should do it like that. Not gonna lie. I prefer doing it. I mean, well, it don't matter. It don't matter. Okay, so right, we're gonna name this button open button, right? We're gonna name it that, and then you could just put in text you could just put open stats, maybe open stats menu, right? You know, be descriptive. You feel me? Scale the text. We're gonna do the same thing. Make the text stroke white. Boom, and then we're gonna go up here. Make the background color, I don't know, like red or something, you know. Boom. Now we have our open button, right? Then for the rest of the buttons, we're going to, okay, I'm good. I'm going to insert some buttons into the stats frame. So here will be the add stats button, right? So, oh, I actually just realized something. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to yeah, actually, okay, hold on. I'm gonna need to make the frame a little bit bigger, right? Because I need space in between, so I can put a plus icon next to each thing, right? So, because pretty much what I'm trying to do is, let me just do it like this. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, because I'm gonna have a plus icon for the button, right? So let's insert a text button into the frame, right? We're gonna insert a text button, and we're gonna put it right next to it, right? So you really want to make the text button really small, honestly. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm trying to do. You just want to set the text to a plus icon, right? We scale the text, so then we don't need the button to be like, you know, long or anything. So we can adjust the size, make it like 50, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, really like 50. And of course, background transparency, you want it to be invisible, and then you can just put it right next to it. Boom, just like that. So you have your plus icon. Here's how you increase the stat. And then make sure you give each button the name for the corresponding stat. So for this, it's add stamina button. Then we can duplicate it, boom, pressing Control D. Then for this, it's add strength button. Make sure you're paying attention to which stat it's sitting next to, so you don't get confused. Then of course this is add defense button, right? Boom. And then just like that, guys, we have finished setting up. Oh, sorry, I forgot the close button. We also need to insert a close button into the frame. So we're gonna insert another, or actually no, let's just duplicate this button again and then drag it to the top. And then all you gotta do with this is just change it to an X, make the text color red, and then boom, just like, and then yeah, just like that. And then let me change the name too. Just change it to close button, and boom, just like that, guys. That's all we got to do. And then lastly, you're just gonna set the frame. We want to leave the GUI enabled, but you're gonna set the frame to not visible, right? Boom, just like that. Now we can get into the actual scripting. Okay, so you want to go ahead and open up the local script. You want to name it stats script, in parentheses, put local. Boom. You want to delete print hello world, right? You want to create 3 variables. First, we're going to get the stats remote events. We're going to say local stats event is equal to game, the replicated storage, wait for child, stats event. Then I'm going to get the local player. Local player is equal to game.players.local player. Lastly, I'm going to get the GUI. So I'm going to say local stats GUI is of course equal to script.parent, because that is, you know, the script is inside of the GUI. So then we're going to have 4 functions. For the first function, it's going to be when the player presses the open button. This is going to be so the stats are going to update every single time they open the every time they press the open stats button, so that like every time they click it, they're seeing like their updated stats. So I'm going to say stats GUI dot open button dot mouse button one click connect function close parentheses enter. You're going to say stats GUI dot stats frame dot defense text dot text is equal to quotation marks defense colon space dot 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 on the outside. Then you're going to put a space. You're going to say player dot stats. This is going to be the name of the folder dot defense dot value. Then we can just copy and paste this. So just Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, and then I think we need to do this 4 times. Yeah. And then of course you're just going to change this for each stat, right? So So after defense, we're going to do stamina text, and then we're going to change this to stamina, and then change this to stamina. That simple. Then for the next one, we're going to do strength text, and then change this to strength, and then change this to strength. Boom. Then for the last one, this is the available points text. So you're going to set available points, and then this time you're going to do available points, right? And then you're just going to do player.stats available points, right? Boom, just like that. And then for the last bits of the function, we're just going to say stats GUI. Once it's finished updating everything, we're going to say stats frame.visible is equal to true. Then I'm going to say stats GUI that open button.visible is equal to false, because then they have to close button so that they close it out. Then I'm going to set the function for when the player is closing it. So we're going to say the same thing, stats GUI dot stats frame dot close button dot mouse button one click connect function close parentheses enter. This time we're simply just going to say you're going to say stats GUI dot stats frame dot visible is equal to false, and then you're going to say stats GUI dot open button dot visible is equal to true, right? Then we're going to set up a fire loop. This is for when a player is trying to increase their stats. It's going to fire their mode event onto the server, or to the server, I should say. So I'm going to say for I comma v in pairs. I'm going to say stats GUI dot stats frame get children enter. I'm going to say if v is a text button, right? Enter. Then I'm going to say v dot mouse button one. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was doing that. Anyway, so we're going to say if v is a text button, we're going to say v dot mouse button one click connect function close parentheses enter. You're going to say if v dot name is equal to, then you're going to put the name of your button. So add defense button enter, right? And then you're gonna say stats event fire server in quotation marks. You're going to put add stat. That's gonna be the name of the event, or sorry, stat. I made the same mistake when I was typing it before the video. Anyway, and then in quotation marks, you're gonna put the name of the stat. So since this is the add defense button, we're going to of course increase the defense stat. Then we can just do else and then copy and paste this. You can control C, control V, boom. Then like I do is just change this. So add stamina button, and then just change this to stamina. Then you can copy and paste this, control C, and then control V, boom, right? And then just change this to add strength button, right? Then we're gonna change this to strength, boom. Just like that, we are done with that function. And now onto the last function on the local script. So I'm going to say stats event here. This is a manual stat update. Like if a player is increasing their stats while the UI is open, then it's going to fire their remote event so that it updates live so that they can see the changes happening. So I'm going to say stat event on client event connect function in parentheses put event type enter. We're going to say if event type is equal to quotation marks stat update enter, right? Then you can great news. You can go up here, copy and paste all this, control C and control V, boom, just like that, to save this a whole bunch of time. Now we can move on to the server script. Okay, so we can close that out. We can insert a server script into server script service. Once I find it, boom, then we can go ahead and name the script stats script and in parentheses put server, right? Then we can delete print hello world. We only need to get two variables. First things first, of course, we're going to get the stats from what event. So let's say local stats event is equal to game that replicated storage, wait for child, stats event. Then I'm going to create a stats data store. So I'm going to say local stats data store is equal to game get service data store service. Remember what I said in the beginning of the video about how you have to have data stores enabled via the settings. So then you're going to say get data store in quotation marks, put the name of your data store. So I'm going to say stats data store, right? Boom. Now we can set up the first function. So this is for when players join, we're going to load their data. I included data saving in this. I normally don't because I'm like, I have a video on data saving, but I was like, with a stat system, I guess I could just include it, because it's just extra work, honestly. It's just repetitive, honestly. So I'm gonna say game.players.player added connect function in parentheses put PLR short for the player who joined, enter. You're gonna create a stats folder. So let's say local stats is gonna be blue, I know, is equal to instance.new. And then in quotation marks, you're going to put folder. You're going to parent the folder to the player. Then you're going to say stats.name. You're simply just going to put stats. Then we're going to start creating each stat one by one. First things first, let's create strength. Let's say local strength is equal to instance.new in quotation marks, put number value, then comma, and this time you're going to parent it to the stats. Oh, sorry, the stats folder. Enter. Then you're going to say strength.value. I'm sorry, not value. Name is equal to strength, and then strength that value is equal to whatever your default strength thing, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. But I'm just gonna put 0 right? Then I'm gonna just copy and paste this to save some time. Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V. Then I'm just gonna change it to match the other stats. So stamina, just copy and paste it all around, and then just make sure you change it. Boom. And then for this, this is defense. Boom, boom, boom. And then for the last thing, it's available points. So available points, available points, available points, available points. And this for you probably would have like a starting amount, you know, a starting amount, value amount, right? Then I'm gonna set up a protected call function so we can ensure that our data is being loaded if we do have data. So I'm gonna say local success, comma, error message is equal to a pcall function, close parentheses, enter. Then I'm gonna set up a key. I'm gonna say local key is equal to player.user ID. I recommend using the player's user ID, not the player's username, because the player can change the username, but they can't change the user ID. Then I'm gonna create a variable for the stats data if the player has any data. So I'm gonna say stats data is equal to stats data store get async key, right? Then I'm gonna start setting it up in case, I'm going to start updating the player's stats if they do have data. So I'm gonna say if stats data, then we're gonna say strength dot value is equal to stats data, right, bracket 1. Then I'm gonna say stamina dot value is equal to stats data, regular bracket 2. Then we're just gonna keep going. Then defense dot value is equal to stats data, regular bracket 3. And then lastly, available points dot value is equal to stats data, regular bracket 4. If they don't have any data, it's just gonna start them off. These are the starting values, just in case anybody was wondering. Then I'm gonna set up a while. I'm gonna set up a while loop just to ensure that this works in case it fails. So I'm gonna say while not success, enter, right? Then we're just gonna copy and paste this, Control C, Control V. Then you're just gonna put a task.wait 3 seconds, however many seconds you guys want, just a little time in between, right? We're halfway done. And then we can move on to the data saving. So I'm going to say game.players.player removing, and then connect function in parentheses, put PLR for the player who left. Then you're simply going to say local success, another protected call, local success, comma, error message is equal to pcall function, close parentheses, enter. We're going to set up the key once again. Local key is equal to player.user ID. Then I'm going to set up a data table. So data table is equal to special brackets. That's how we create a table. Then I'm going to insert each value in order, right? The order that you're saving is the order that you need to be loading. So you guys see how we're strength, stamina, defense, and available points. We need to go in that same order. We need to maintain that same order. So I'm going to say table. I'm going to say table.insert, data table, comma, player dot stats dot strength, strength, I spelled that wrong. I swear I'd be forgetting how to spell strength dot value, right? Then we're just going to copy and paste this. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, then just update it. So stamina, defense, and available points, right? Boom. Then we're gonna say stats. Then we'll say stats data store, set async key, comma, data table. Boom. Then we're gonna go on the outside of it, and we're gonna do the same thing we did in the first function. We're gonna say while not success, enter. Then we're just gonna copy and paste all of that. Control C, Control V. So if it fails, it'll keep trying until it works. So task.wait 3 seconds. Again, go with however much amount of time you feel is right. Then now for the last function, which is very short. This is for when a player is trying to increase their stats. So I'm gonna say stats event on server event, connect function in parentheses, put PLR short for the player, comma, event type, comma, arg1 short for argument number 1, right? Then I'm gonna say if event type is equal to, in quotation marks, you're going to put add stat, enter. Then we're going to, of course, create a variable for argument 1. So we're gonna say local stat type is equal to argument number 1, so we know which stat the player is trying to increase. But first, we have to make sure that they have they have points to spend, like have money to spend in a sense, right? So we're gonna say if player.stats.available points that value is of course greater than 0. Enter. And then I'm gonna say player.stats.available points that value is of course less than or equal to 1. They lose one of their points, and then they increase. So player.stats regular brackets, and then you're going to put stat type, so it modifies whatever specific stat they're trying to modify. That value is plus equal 1, so that stat will increase. Oh, I meant a plus sign, right? Then for the last thing, I'm just going to say stats event. This is the stat update, so I'm going to say fire client. Make sure you do fire client singular, not plural. Then in quotation marks, you're going to put stat update. It's just going to update all the stats, so it doesn't matter which specific stat is updating. Which specific stat just, increased. It doesn't matter. It's just going to update all the stats. But anyway, let's go ahead and test to make sure it works. As always, if you guys want access to any of my scripts and models, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Link to either one of those options can be found in the description. Okay, so if I open up players, you guys see we have all my stats here available: points, defense, stamina, and strength, right? So if I open the stats menu, you guys see, oh, well, the reason I have this set is because I was testing it prior to, like, the video and stuff. That's why I already have stuff spent. But let me go ahead and just reset it. Okay, so it's not gonna update, right? Like, look. So if I set it back to 0 and then set it back to 5, it's not gonna update because obviously, like, it updates, when you open it, or if you change it, or if, like, we're increasing it. But, like, that's not a natural way to change it because, we're in studio. But anyway, you guys see now how I have available points 5. Now if I increase stamina, watch, you guys see it'll increase 1 here. This will change to 4. This will go to 1. Boom, right? 1 1 4, right? So it's updating correctly. Boom, 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 right? You guys see, and they all match up. Right now, you guys can see I can't increase my stamina anymore because I don't have any more points. So yeah, that's how you make a stat system and stuff. Like I said, if you guys want me to make a part 2 system, so I show you guys how to integrate this into, like, combat and stuff, so players, like, can see the changes, actually, like, in game and stuff like that. I for sure can hit you guys with a part 2 to show the video a lot of love and support, and I for sure got you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. You guys should for sure join the Discord server. Link is in the description, especially if you need help, because I got y'all in the Discord server. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching.